Hello all and welcome to another Kevin Entertainment video. It's Art here with a book review for Murder on the Mews, or in the Mews by Agatha Christie. It is a Hercule Poirot novel. It is the one after Death on the Nile. And it is a collection of short stories, actually. A collection of which, and this is what disjointed me with this collection. Normally, Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot collections, even presented in novel form, have a common thread. This one had no common thread that I could find. I did listen to it on Audible. Nigel Hawthorne reads the first short story. Hugh Fraser reads all the others, which he played Captain Hastings in the Poirot series that lasted for like 14 years or something like that. That's really, really good. So that was good. And each individual story was either... it was at least entertaining. They weren't great, but I couldn't find a connecting thread other than it was Hercule Poirot traveling around the world, and even Poirot himself was transforming between stories of being younger and older, and that was a bothersome problem for me. It wasn't hard to keep track of it, but it was hard to keep it in the timeline. Excuse me. It was hard to keep it in the timeline, and it detracted a little bit from the overall story. There was no real connecting feature, like I said. The stories were on par, but they weren't excellent like a lot of her earlier novels were, like The Big Four, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, The Murder on the Orient Express, and even Death on the Nile. So that tells you right there that this collection of short stories, you could see she was starting to wind down the character a little bit, or maybe she just hit a rough patch in Poirot's series. That will remain to be seen. Does it need to be read? If you're reading the series, this does need to be read. It is enjoyable. You're still going to have the familiarity of Hercule Poirot, but just be forewarned, it's going to be disjointed. Each short story shows Poirot's cleverness, his eagerness, and his intelligence, and also his kindness, even though it can sometimes be smarmy. It is still a good book to read. It was still an enjoyable time, but there are better Poirot stories out there. The middle story, in which they were inside a mansion trying to solve a murder, what turns out to be a murder, was possibly my favorite because I do like locked room mysteries. The last one felt a bit rushed. It was like, here's the murder with 20 minutes left in the book, and here's the conclusion. It was 25 to 30 to 40 minutes of setup. Here's the murder, here's the conclusion. That I didn't like so much, but the middle one, the middle story in and of itself was a good enough reason to read this book because it shows the brilliance of Hercule Poirot. It shows that he's a cut above everybody else in the room. It shows Agatha Christie's talent for writing. It shows a lot of these things, but I think that if she would have expounded on that a little bit more, that in itself could have been the book. Could have been and should have been the book. I don't mind short stories. There are plenty of short story collections I love, like Black Coffee, Hercule Poirot Investigates. There's plenty of short story collections of Poirot and Agatha Christie I love. Just Murder in the Mews is just not one of them. It misses the mark for me. So on the GoodReads scale, it's a 4 out of 5. on my own scale, it's a read it because it's part of the series, and I do like it. I don't really love it. It's a step down from the love, but it's a 4 out of 5, and some of the stories in there are even 3 out of 5, but there are a few stories that raise it up and show you what Agatha Christie can do, and what prowess she was, and that she was the queen of mystery, the queen of this quintessential cozy mystery, which, yes, Hercule Poirot, like it or not, is a cozy mystery. But she is the queen of crime, she is the queen of mystery, and there are some in this short story collection that truly do prove it. Leave in the comments down below what your favorite Hercule Poirot novel is, and let me know if you've read Murder in the Mews, or if you plan on reading the Hercule Poirot series. I do recommend that you read it. That is without a shadow of a doubt. I recommend that you read it. It's just, this book hit a few snags for me, but this book is in the series and deserves to be read because there are some gems in there too. So, without further ado, you know I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Please ding the notification bell to be notified when I upload a video. And without further ado, happy reading. I'll see you again soon. And peace.